Yo, how are we doing, everybody? So today I would like to talk about Jeuno. Now, this place is going to be showing up in the new Alliance raid, the Echoes of Vana'diel, in 7.1. Now, for anyone that's played Final Fantasy XI, this place just means so much to us. But I like to show it to everybody else. So here we are. We are in Jeuno. This is me on not my Lalafell, but my Tarutario. Because yeah, while the races are pretty similar in appearance, they have different names, which is kind of interesting because they alluded that a bit when we went to the first in Shadowbringers. But even there, there were some unique names, like the Lalafells there are called dwarves instead. But yeah, anyways, I want to go ahead and show you guys Jeuno. So right here on the map, you can see this is Lower Jeuno. Lower Jeuno, this is the one that we saw in the live letter. There's the home crystal over there. You can see there's a lot of people hanging out. Because yeah, Lower Jeuno is a place where a lot of people are going to be. So I thought it was pretty cool that we saw this section of Jeuno specifically in the live letter. I don't know if we'll see every section, but I thought it would be fun to show you guys around, as this is a place I really, really love. I love Jeuno so much. It's very nostalgic. The place means a lot to me. And I'm sure for a lot of people, they've never played Final Fantasy XI, so they don't even know. So over here, there's a couple of shops that we can go to that, not that big a deal, but it is right next to the auction house, so I find that pretty useful. And then yeah, over here to the left is the auction house itself. So like, this is a place you're going to spend so much time. Like, I think it would be really cool if the auction house, even if like obviously we can't utilize it in the raid itself, if we could at least see it in the raid, it would just be cool to see. But yeah, Lower Jeuno, there's a lot of things that happen over here. In fact, there's this place over to the side I want to show you. This is where the ninjas are hanging out. This place over here. I guess they're not technically all ninjas, but yeah, this is where you would go, the Neptune Spire. This is where you would go to unlock the ninja job, to do quite a few quests in the game, and important missions that you would have to actually do to be able to unlock basically almost everything once you get to a certain point. Don't mind the camera there. This is an older MMO, so it's going to get caught on the wall here and there. But yeah, this is just something I really love about Final Fantasy XI and here in Lower Jeuno. Like, there's just so many things that, like, it's not immediately, like, conveyant what it is you're supposed to do. Like, this whole section here, this is all secret. Like, yeah, you saw me just walking in, but that's because I unlocked this section. There's actually a quest line you have to do in order to unlock this area. And yeah, this is, again, even though there's like so many important things you need to do here, there's important NPCs, important storylines. Yeah, if you don't know what to do, you cannot come into this section, into the background, the secret area in Neptune Spire. So like what the thing is there's this NPC over here, the one at the front desk. You actually have to talk to them. You give them a specific item, and then they give you a couple of prompts to say. And yet you have to actually select a prompt that they're not prompting you. Like, you have to select the invisible third prompt, and then you'll be allowed inside, which I think is super cool. Like, that is not something you would ever see in Final Fantasy XIV. Or wait, did they make an allusion to that in Stormblood? I don't remember, but yeah. Either way, super duper cool. Not something that you'll see too much of. But yeah, so that was Lower Jeuno. There's actually multiple sections of Jeuno. Over here we have Port Jeuno. This is the bottom section. So yeah, even though Lower Jeuno, you would think that would maybe be the lowest. No, it's just lower. Port is the lowest. So Port over here, we have a couple of areas. If you look over here, there's air travel, there's Sandoria, Kazam, Bastok, and Winders. So once you get your license, once you get the flying license, you'll be able to go to these airships and fly to the different sections. Sandoria, Bastok, and Winders, those are the starting areas, just like Limsa, Limenza, Windurst, or not Windurst, Gridania, and the other one, which I remember, Ul'dah. There we go. So yeah, if you want to go to those different sections, you would have to take an airship if you wanted to get there from Jeuno. Otherwise, you would have to walk all the way there. Unfortunately, getting a flying license, that requires you to do a lot of the missions, which I guess is basically Final Fantasy XI's MSQ. And it is very, very difficult. And there's so much like grinding and work you have to do. So it takes a long while to get the flying license. So instead, yeah, the first time you come to Jeuno, you're going to be walking here from your home region. And it is a long walk. Like, for me personally, I think the first time I walked to Jeuno from Windurst, I think it took me somewhere between like 40 minutes to an hour. Like, and that's just all walking. Like what I'm doing right now. Just walking, checking my map, and walking. Obviously, there would be some monsters, but most of those would like 1 or 2 shot me. So I would just try to avoid those. Because, yeah, obviously, Final Fantasy XI is different now. But back when I played it, when the game first came out in US, yeah, you just kind of walked everywhere. That actually leads to what I want to show you here in Upper Jeuno. There is a special quest line you can do over here with, this NPC and a Chocobo. So, like, all these Chocobos over here, I know in, like, 14, you can just kind of ride whatever mount. But, yeah, that was not the case when 11 first came out. Instead, you would talk to Brutus, you would do a quest line with him. And, yeah, this, I think this Chocobo over here, essentially, you would have to, they would tell you that the, like, Chocobo's sick, not doing well. And you would have to find 4 items. Like, you could grind certain monsters to get them, or if you were rich, I guess, go to the auction house. But obviously, starting off in the game, you probably didn't have much. So yeah, gathering the items yourself was much better. So yeah, you would get those items, you would feed them to the Chocobo. And once you did that, which, yeah, I think like in-game days had to pass in between each feeding. So, you know, that was a little obnoxious. But yeah, you would feed the Chocobo, and then you would get the license, the Chocobo license, which would allow you to rent a Chocobo, not have a Chocobo, but rent a Chocobo. And yeah, you can see over here, you would talk to like one of these 2 NPCs. They would allow you to rent the Chocobo. The price would vary. Like, usually here in Jeuno, the price would be 1,000 gil, which that is a lot of money in like early Final Fantasy XI. That is so much money. And yeah, it would vary. So it could be lower. It could be way, way lower than that. Maybe it'd be like 500, 200, something like that. But yeah, not in Jeuno, because obviously Jeuno is a place where a lot of people make their homes. Because yeah, you have the flying airships, so you can go to all the nations if you're doing specific missions. There's the auction house that like everyone would like have access to. So a lot of people would put stuff they were trying to sell in the Jeuno auction house instead of like the Windurst or Bastock one. And obviously, yeah, it has the Mog houses as well, so you'd be able to change your jobs. But yeah, I guess I should like show you like over here down this section. This is where you would talk to the Moogle. That's where your Mog house is, which, yeah, the Mog house is just like a room with a Moogle in it. I don't want to bother with like the loading screen for that, but yeah, it's just over there. And then yeah, this last section, this is the last place in Jeuno up these stairs. So like this is a bit different compared to the other areas. Like, yeah, you can see the like architecture is very different. Different color scheme. It's very grandiose. I don't know if we'll be going here in the Alliance raid or not, because I honestly have no idea. We only have that picture of Lower Jeuno, so it could be just contained to that section. Maybe we'll go through all the sections of Jeuno, but yeah, just in case, I figured I would show this section as well. So this area here, you don't go to anywhere near as often, because yeah, you travel a lot between like Upper, Lower, and potentially Port Jeuno. But the gardens, you really just came here for like important stuff. Like there's some missions. You'd have to go to your embassy. Like right here, this is the Windurstian embassy. as my character is from Winders, this is where I would go to get my missions. They would just talk to the NPC there at the counter. They would tell you to go talk to the ambassador, who's like a little bit further in the back. And yeah, you would be able to unlock missions here for Jeuno. These would be like a little bit later, like, because obviously your missions would start in your specific nation. Like, I would do, I think it's like the first 3 or so missions in Winders, and then I think it's like the 4th or 5th one. You would come down here to Jeuno to do those. And it's pretty interesting because like there's a lot of story and like lore for like each of the nations, like Winders, Bastok, and Sandoria. Like they are not all just like buddies, all arm in arms, like how it is in Final Fantasy 14. Like where your nation, like where you come from in 14 really isn't that big a deal. But in 11, like with the way that the story is built in the world, it was a much bigger deal. Like it was a much bigger deal. And there was like so much going on like between these characters and factions. It was very interesting. Right here, actually, this is where, if I could, I would go to see like the Emperor, like the Archduke or whatever of Jeuno. And because like him and like their family are like very important characters to the story. I don't know if they'll be showing up in Echoes of Vana'diel or not, but I would not be surprised since we are literally going to Jeuno. More than likely, I imagine we would see some of these characters. I mean, it is different. Like, from what I'm told, the 11 we're seeing in 14 is not exactly the same, but I expect a lot of similarities. And then, I don't know if this character will be showing up. I think it would be really cool. But yeah, this guy, this is Maat. You talk to this guy quite a few times in 11, as he's the guy you would go to unlock your job limits. Like, in 14... you'll just like buy the new expansion, right? Like Dawn Trail, and you go from 90 to 100. But that is not how it worked in 11. Instead, you would talk to this guy and he would give you a quest, and that quest would like probably take you like to really like far out random places in the world, and you would like fight some monsters, get some items. You come back to Maat, you give him the items, and then he would unlock your level. Like say you were capped at 50, you do that quest, you get to 55, you do the next quest, then you can unlock up to 60. So yeah, that was really cool. And then like some of the quests, you would have to fight Maat himself. And like those were difficult like fights depending on like what job you were. Cause like he has a bunch of different abilities, like high level stuff he could use. And it would just be completely RNG. So it's like sometimes like the fight could actually be like really easy, but then depending on what abilities he would use, it was like, oh, I'm just going to die. Like there's no way I'm gonna win. So I shouldn't even bother wasting my resources on the fight. So yeah, I don't know if he'll be in Echoes of Vana'diel, but I think it'd be really cool if he showed up as a boss. But yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to show you guys. Hopefully y'all found this interesting, just a little bit of the background in Jeuno. But yeah, if you like this video, please let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Peace. It was fun.